Hi there folks, Gareth here from Mobile Tech Addicts, tracyandmatt.co.uk and for unboxings.com, and today I'll be looking at the LG G3. This was very kindly sent over to us by clove.co.uk. This is a rather fetching box. It's a kind of a silverish colour. It's important to note that this is the 16GB version, so it only has 2GB of RAM. The 32GB version has 3GB of RAM. Yeah, that'll be right. And there's all the guff that you need to know. Right, okay. So on the bottom here they have listed that it got the, see if we can pull focus on that, Global Mobile Awards 2014 winner from GSMA, who do Mobile World Congress and the like. You can see there's a bit of a slanted box there actually. Nothing to... so I'll have a look and see what's on the back, I suppose. Okay, so the LG G3 pushing their knock code. It's got a 5.5-inch Quad HD display, Snapdragon 810 or 801, sorry, a 1-watt speaker booster amp, a 13-megapixel dual flash camera, laser autofocus, and a 3000 milliamp hour battery. Typical, as opposed to a 2940 milliamp hour battery minimum. Okay, well, we'll have a look at that and see what it actually says on the battery. Here we open her up, and inside we have the device. From what I can see, this is the titanium version, so we'll be having a look at that in a bit. And inside here we have knock code. Underneath we have LG quick start guide, very handy. We have a nicely sealed charger. We have the battery, which has been opened already. Typically 3000 milliamp hours, it says on the battery. Come on, focus, you can do this. There we go. And on the back, doesn't say too much. It says that typical again. Alright, typical, or it could be type, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, we have some headphones in here too. Have a look at the quality of those. Fairly nice LG on the back there. Angled for acoustical pleasure. We have inline controls, up, down, or plus, minus, and nipple. Then on here we have the microphone, I'm guessing, for the inline mic. Doesn't seem to be on there. And then we have a 3-pole 3.5mm headphone jack. And we also have the charge cable, or USB cable. It's nice to see these. Some manufacturers don't like to put those in there. Okay, what you're all here for. The LG G3 with knock code. And on the back here, see, it's the titanium look. It's very sexy, very lovely. We have a sensor up here, dual flash, the 13-megapixel camera, buttons here and here. It has been a while since I've used G2, so I hope I can remember everything that this does. So we'll peel that away, and we have a luscious large screen. I'm going to set that there and bring this in for a comparison. That's the Galaxy 5S and the Note 3 as well. So you can see it's quite nicely in between the 5S and the Note 3 size wise. Note 3 does look huge in comparison. If we were to stack them all together and turn them around and have a look at them like that. Well, I suppose the G3 is probably the fattest of the bunch, but it's got that curvature, so it doesn't really maybe look as fat. Maybe it's just the way I'm holding it. At any rate, we'll put those over there, get the battery in, and have a look and see how this thing goes. So to put the battery in, we have to open it. There we go. We have it in underneath. Battery goes in like seats. Back here we have NFC. The ports there, connector there. Micro SD card, and I imagine the micro SIM fits in underneath there. Is there anything else here? There's the speaker down the bottom. USB on the bottom. I will take a tour around the device now that that's in whilst it's booting up. Clicks on fairly nicely. It's much nicer than the click on of the Note 3, I'll give you that. Okay, so we'll hit the power button. Hopefully there's some charge in here for us to make the most of wherever the power button happens to be. Is there a power button? You know what, to be honest, I don't know. I'm going to open this and have a look. Of course, I'm an idiot. That'll be the power button there. Okay, there we have the screen coming up. So on the bottom we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, microphone, USB or micro USB cable. That's what we use to pull off the back cover just there. Nothing else up here. Along the top we have a couple of sensors. That must be a microphone and, sorry, I'm in trouble here with the focus once again. That's the microphone and a little, maybe that's an IR blaster possibly. Nothing down this side. On the back we have those buttons that I illustrated earlier. On the front we have the 2.1 front facing camera. This is the one with the laser inside it for selfies. There's a couple of sensors up there, an ear speaker. Down here with the LG button. No actual physical buttons, just on-screen buttons. So we'll go through the setup here and see if we can get online with it. We'll forget about the mobile network right now. We're signing into our Gmail account now. Okay, backup and all that nonsense. Okay, so the NOT code allows you to unlock the screen without turning it on. Whenever the screen is off, tap the NOT code anywhere. So set a NOT code. We'll go really simple with 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully I'll remember that next time. Okay, if your NOT code is forgotten, set a pin. There we go, and we can configure our home touch button combination. So back, home, menu, menu, home, back, or we can have them in black. I'll go with white because it's a wee bit different. Okay, so we have an update coming in here, if it would like to focus. So we'll just go ahead with that. Okay, LG apps. Okay, so here we have the rather swanky screen. It's quite reflective in this light. Perhaps I need to play around with the settings here to push that up so you can see it. I just downloaded a bunch of emails and things like that, and some pictures and stuff. It's installing various bits of software that I use on my other Android devices. And it's picked up that I am apparently in Carrickfergus, which I am not, unfortunately. And there's a smart notice here, which drops down. That's kind of funky. Smart notice, set card, so that must be essentially Google Now. We'll go to settings and have a play with this. New card notifications don't vibrate. Well, I'm noticing the just how much of the screen is actually screen. There's very little bezel here. I know that was one of the big things that they were pushing at the launch. It's absolutely magnificent just how much screen there is here. And guess we'll have a quick look at the ROM here to see what version of Android we're on. Okay, they've moved it. Status, battery, hardware information, software information. We're on Android 4.4.2. Okay. Alright, we're going to have a wee play with the camera here because I keep hearing great things about the camera. If I take this off just to have something to take pictures of. We'll click on it and we got a picture. We got a picture. We got a picture. We'll go with the gallery, see what their gallery's like. There's the picture I took. There's another picture I took. It looks absolutely splendid. So from the camera, there isn't too much in the way of options available right away, so you have to open up this and we've got grid, timer, voice activation. Okay, say cheese, shutter. Cheese! 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 Alright. Select what kind of size we want to go with. Obviously, we want to go with as ultra as possible. We got almost 4K there. If we can make that out, if my focus would work, that would be great. There we go. That's the resolution sizes that we have available to us. And HDR is on auto, so we'll keep that on. I do like that pop. It's a nice pop. It doesn't feel like it's going to get old too soon. So mode, we've got dual mode, panorama, magic focus and auto. Switch the camera around and you can see my camera in selfie mode. So we go for mode, we've got dual and auto. What do we have in settings here? It's not entirely clear what that does. Okay, take a picture and record a video. Yep. Tap the photo. And we're getting messages from the boss. Okay, edit pages. Change the order of your home screen and set the default home screen. Pinch anywhere on the home screen. LG Health and Smart Tips. Music. Gallery. Calendar. Quick memo. So they said pinch on the screen. Which I'm not sure that I understand what that's doing. Stretchy, stretchy. It's a nice looking interface. So inside this we obviously have Android 4.4.2, which is kind of nice. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor with I think that's a quad core 2.5 gigahertz if memory serves. This version has 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage, whereas the 32 gigabytes version has 3 gigabytes of RAM in it, which is a noticeable. It will be a noticeable increase, but I think for the majority of users, unless they really need the extra storage, this version will probably be fine for them. Obviously, with the SD card, that makes a bit of a difference too. So the big bonus would be the 3 gigabytes of RAM for the hardcore, those that really need some extreme speed or whatever. But this seems to be fairly fast enough. It's got an FM stereo built in, as most of them usually do, which is quite nice. That 3000 milliamp hour battery is sitting in there too. So it's spec'd up. It's got all the specs that you'd need. And then also installed on here we have McAfee Security Suite, which some people will like and some people won't, showing updates there in the update center. And it's gone and downloaded some of the Acer products I tend to use with my Acer notebook, and it's downloaded and installed all my applications. So it's going to be quite difficult to work out what actually came with the device and what didn't. Obviously we've got all the Google paraphernalia there. We've got a calendar, camera, cell broadcast. Must be updates about network. Gallery, messaging, music, phone, Play Store. Doesn't seem to be too much of excitement in there. And then that goes into what looks like all my applications that I tend to use. Yeah, alright, so widget wise, there's got to be a ton of LG widgets. Oh, you've got to get through all your own widgets first. Oh well. So the button on the back, we press that, it disappears. Press that, it pops up and you get your lock screen. Okay, so no SIM card. Emergency call, press and hold. And the volume button is on the back then as well. It's kind of nice to have it round there, but it's going to be difficult not having it. See, whenever I hold it, my finger's over here. So my thumb would have been on the power button or the volume rocker, and it would be here as well. So I actually have to hold the phone in a different position in order to get to that, or reposition the phone in my hand in order to get to the volume. Yeah, I suppose maybe for people with smaller hands that would be great, but then this is a big device and people with smaller hands might not like a bigger device. So we'll be getting the review up in the near future. It looks like a pretty tidy little alternative to my Samsung Galaxy S5. It's going to be difficult to choose which one to go with in the morning, especially when we get that as well sticking on. So, you know, you get up at bed out in the morning, which do you go for? So I'll be using this for the next week at least, or maybe 2 weeks, depending on how much I love it or loathe it. But we'll have the review up in the next couple of weeks and see what we think of it. But for right now, take care.